Yo, what's up, you guys? It's your boy Eddie Dude here. Yes, so this video is going to be about vampires. I personally am obsessed with vampires. I love their movies, their how they behave, what they do, the history of it, what they are. Yeah, really, attracted to vampires. The movies, them people. Yeah, so anyways, this video is about the history of vampires, what they are, and how the story of vampire got started, how it got popularized and stuff. So yeah, let's get started. So yeah, vampires originated from in Eastern Europe, in England and Germany, in the around like in the late 17th and 18th centuries. So yeah, vampires are these mythical evil beings who roam the world at night seeking for blood to survive. So yeah, folk tales and the myth of these vampires, they're said to be immortal. They don't age, they don't die physically. They have no souls. They're undead. They have like pale white skin, scary eyes. They're the undead. They have these super strength. They have no mirror reflections and they have no shadows. Yeah, they're demons really. They have this hypnagogic stare vibe around them that people tend to attract. They get hypnotized by the sensuality of their stare, you can say, something about them that attract victims. So yeah, these vampire superstition, it all started in the Middle Ages. That's when, especially when the Black Plague limited the entire town. So yeah, if you don't know what the Black Plague is, it's basically a name of a terrible disease that happened in Europe. It spread out through all of Europe. It was highly contagious. There was no cure for this disease. It was a terrible, terrible, horrible time. The death was around like 75 to 200 million people that died from this disease. The disease often left people with bleeding mouths, which to the uneducated people was a sure sign of vampirism. Anyone with unfamiliar physical or emotional illness was to be labeled as a vampirism. So yeah, many researchers pointed porphyria. Porphyria. So porphyria is like a blood disorder. Yeah, that can cause blisters on your skin that's exposed to the sunlight. So yeah. So yeah, that's what porphyria means. Is a blood disorder due to the sun that causes your skin to blistered and served, and so that disease was linked to vampirism, and that's how the legend, you could say, started. Also, other diseases that were blamed for vampirism was rabies and goiter. Goiter is a swelling of the neck resulting from like an enlargement of the thyroid gland. So yeah, so when a vampire died, their bodies were often discerned to search signs for vampirism. So the old classic stake through the heart to make sure they stay dead. As well as burning them with fire and flames. So yeah, now let's talk about real vampires. There are real actual vampires here among Earth, but they're different. They're not like these myths, folktale stories, even though I find them interesting and stuff, but also I find real vampires are interesting as well because they are real. There are vampires, and yeah. So yeah, real vampires. They're normal seeming people. They're like humans like us, but obviously different. They're more enhanced with their mentality, brain, DNA, strength, enhanced psychic abilities as well. So yeah, they're normal semi people who drink small amount of blood to stay healthy. So yeah, communities of self-identified vampires can be found on the internet and cities and towns around the world. I have a link of real vampires down below if you guys want to find out, or if you're a vampire watching this, click the link to help yourself, to blend in, to find out who you and what you really are. So yeah, most modern vampires tend to keep to themselves. They're private people. They're private of what they do. Things such as feeding ritual. So yeah, some vampires don't really ingest human blood. Instead, they take their energy. These are known as energy vampires. For me, I'm a bit skeptical of energy vampires. I believe anybody can have that tendency to be an energy vampire, feeding others people energy. But I can see, I can see someone as an energy vampire taking over their energy, draining. But then again, that can be anybody can really do that, really. But yeah, so yeah, many state if they don't feed regularly, they tend to be depressed or agitated, and they don't feed. Yeah, this purpose of the video is talking about actual vampires that feed on blood and stuff. So yeah, real vampires are considered technically still human, but they're considered more developed, more enhanced. Like I said before, strength, speed, telepathy, psychic abilities, mental. They also have the ability to digest human and animal blood more efficiently than most humans do. So yeah, people can turn into vampires. Real vampires can turn other people to vampire by simply bitten by a vampire. They need a sample of your blood first, and then they can transfer their blood to yours. And that's how you become a vampire like that. So yeah, real vampires don't have any of those mythical vampires that you see in movies. They don't really burn in the sunlight as dramatically as the movies, but they do have a tendency to get sunburned more quickly than other humans do. They may have just itchiness and stuff. Isn't it like they can be somewhat effective, but not dramatically as the movies? But it's not really that much of a harm in sunlight. So yeah, they don't really fly. Real vampires don't fly. They're not afraid of garlic. They're not afraid of the cross. They don't do anything to them. They don't sleep in the coffin. Real vampires don't sleep in coffins. Those are just myths for sure. Onto the blood now. Why vampires crave for blood? Why blood is really important to the vampires, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's because blood is the essence of life. Blood is very important physically and metaphysically speaking. Many people overlook blood like it's just a liquid and stuff, but it's really more than that. Is very important. So yeah, blood is the essence of life. Is the essential ingredient which mankind, was created from. It's many ancient references stress a lot about the importance of blood. Yeah, it's a life-sustaining resource. So yeah, the significance of blood as a deep commitment, it's easily perceived through ritual of meaningful and valid blood pledges and vows. People do vows, they do rituals with blood. Yeah, it's the element that integrates all the physical and non-physical, metaphysical function through all of our organs. Yeah, the blood circulation system can, in this sense, be compared to the materialized structure that represents the etheric movement of energies and prana in our exophysical bodies. So yeah, blood is our prana. If you know what prana is, it's universal energy that flows around our body. So yeah, it relates the concept of DNA heritage, which is that's also important. DNA heritage, blood relates to DNA heritage. Thus, the importance and the influence of bloodlines as a tool to determine the natural capabilities and attitudes and limitation of each individual through the process of life that each one of us face in the process of awakening and self-realization. So yeah, that's why blood is so important, and it should be cherished. Taking care of your blood, your body, by staying healthy and stuff. So yeah, that's about it with my video. So yeah, just keep in mind vampires are real. They are friendly. Some of them depends, you know. I'm gonna leave a link of the website. Check it out if you want. Maybe you're a vampire and you don't know it. The link in the description may help. So yeah, peace.